Scotland are top of their World Cup group after a famous opening win, and a current Celtic star made sure everyone noticed where his heart is. We have also got a transfer inquiry emerging for a striker who left Scottish football for Italy just 6 months ago, a transfer window quirk that could give Celtic a genuine edge this summer, and something exciting taking shape inside Celtic Park right now. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Kieran Tierney may not have made it off the bench in Scotland's opening World Cup match against Haiti, but he still managed to become one of the talking points of the night, and it had nothing to do with what happened on the pitch. As Scotland's squad arrived at the stadium ahead of kick-off, supporters watching on social media quickly spotted that Tierney was carrying a Celtic backpack. In the middle of a World Cup on the biggest stage in international football, he turned up repping the hoops. It is a small moment, but an instantly likeable one, and the clip has been doing the rounds ever since. On the pitch, Scotland made history. More than 10,000 days after their last appearance at a World Cup, Steve Clarke's side returned to football's biggest stage and got the result that mattered most. John McGinn's deflected first-half strike proved enough to beat Haiti 1-0 in a match that was not always pretty, but was absolutely priceless. With Morocco holding Brazil to a draw in the same group, Scotland ended the opening round of fixtures sitting top of Group C. That is an extraordinary position for a nation that has spent almost 3 decades watching the tournament from the outside. Tierney himself played a massive role in getting Scotland to this World Cup in the first place. That injury-time winner against Denmark at Hampton last November that sent the country over the line was one of the most dramatic moments in recent Scottish football history. Seeing him carry that Celtic bag into the stadium felt entirely fitting, a reminder of where he came from and what he stands for. Now for the main story, as Celtic have made preliminary inquiries about former Hibernian striker Kieran Bowie, just 6 months after he left Scottish football to join Hellas Verona in Serie A. According to Italian outlet L'Arena, reported via Tutto Mercato Web, Celtic have made early contact to explore Bowie's availability this summer. Verona were relegated from Serie A at the end of the season, and that drop in status has created uncertainty around several of their squad, with Bowie among those whose future is now unclear. The 22-year-old adapted impressively to Italian football despite the difficult circumstances. He scored 4 goals in 14 Serie A appearances after joining in January, a perfectly respectable return for a player adapting to a new league mid-season in a side that was fighting relegation. The ability was clearly there. Celtic's interest is not new. The club had been monitoring Bowie before he made the move to Italy, and it appears that interest has simply not gone away. That tells you something about how they view him as a player. The striker situation at Celtic is a genuine priority this summer. Thomas Schwanzara's loan has ended without him convincing. Kelechi Iheanacho has yet to sign a contract extension despite the club holding an option, and Daisen Maeda continues to attract transfer interest after his standout end to the season. The forward line needs serious attention. Bowie would offer something different. He knows Scottish football, he has now tested himself at a higher level, and at 22 with a Serie A spell on his CV, he has real resale value built in. Whether inquiries develop into something more concrete over the coming weeks remains to be seen, but with the window now open, this is a story worth watching closely. In other news, a transfer window quirk has emerged that could give Celtic a genuinely useful advantage over their rivals in the English Premier League and Championship this summer. Scotland's transfer window closes at 5 p.m. on the 3rd of September this year. England's window closes at 11 p.m. on the 1st of September. That gap of just under 2 days is small but significant. What it means in practice is that once the English window shuts and Premier League and Championship clubs have finalised their squads, Celtic will still have time to act. Players who have been left out of plans, youngsters who need minutes, fringe first-team men who need a move to keep their careers moving. All of them could become available at exactly the point when Celtic still have a window to work with. This is not where Celtic will be finding their headline summer signings. The marquee moves need to happen early, before pre-season and before Champions League qualifiers in August. But squad building is about depth as much as starters, and last season exposed just how thin the squad became when injuries and fixture congestion hit at the same time. If used smartly, those extra 48 hours at the end of the window could allow Celtic to pick up useful additions at a point when the English market has already settled. The club have a history of doing exactly this kind of business well. In other news, Chris Sutton has delivered a typically straight verdict on Scotland's opening World Cup victory, making it clear that the only thing that matters after 10,000 days away from this stage is that they got the 3 points. Scotland beat Haiti 1-0 in the early hours of Sunday morning, with John McGinn's deflected effort proving enough to separate the sides. It was not always comfortable. Haiti pushed and probed throughout, had moments where they looked threatening, and never gave Scotland an easy evening, but they did not score, and Scotland did. Sutton, posting on social media after the final whistle, summed it up with a line that will resonate with every Scotland fan who stayed up through the night to watch. He wrote, "Scotland topped the group ahead of Brazil and Morocco. All that matters is the 3 big points." It is exactly the right take. World Cup nights are not remembered for perfect performances in the opening game. They are remembered for what they mean. For a nation that has spent the best part of 3 decades on the outside looking in, winning any World Cup match feels almost surreal. Anthony Ralston also sat on the bench alongside Tierney, with neither Celtic man getting minutes in the opener. The next fixture is against Morocco, a seriously tough test. If Celtic's players can help Scotland get something from that game, the tournament could develop into something very special for Scottish football. Lastly, something is taking shape inside Celtic Park this summer that supporters are already getting very excited about. Images circulating on social media this week show a new mural in the early stages of being completed inside the North Stand concourse area. From what has been shared online, the artwork appears to depict Billy McNeill lifting the European Cup, his arms raised, the trophy held aloft in the way that has defined Celtic's identity for nearly 60 years. McNeill was the captain of the Lisbon Lions in 1967, when Celtic became the first British side to win the European Cup. He remains one of the most iconic figures in the history of the club, and a tribute like this inside Celtic Park feels completely appropriate. The timing adds another layer of meaning. The 2026 to 2027 season will mark the 60th anniversary of that night in Lisbon. Having a permanent piece of artwork paying tribute to McNeill, ready for supporters to see when they return for the new campaign, is a beautifully timed addition to the stadium. Celtic Park has gradually added more murals and historical displays in recent years, helping newer generations of supporters connect with the club's history and giving the stadium itself a sense of identity beyond the match days. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.